Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey guys, this is Heather Hope. Welcome back. The Inspired Entrepreneur podcast. I think I said that all backwards. How funny. Okay, so how are you doing? Happy Saturday to you. And we're almost done with this year. I hope you had an amazing week. I know I did. Very, very busy. Really cool stuff. Okay, so I think we're going to go really short today because I need to catch up with stuff. I actually need to go to bed, but I need to catch up on stuff. And then this weekend, I will get some more episodes uploaded for you and talk a little bit more. So February 27th, if you don't know, this is from my book, The Inspired Entrepreneur, and it's 366 days of inspiration for the entrepreneur. Inspiration meaning law of attraction, basically, and law of attraction for business owners. And we talk about all manifestation. Like you can find virtually anything on this channel. If I'm on YouTube, so I upload this every morning to YouTube, and you can find me on the podcast platform. So, but you can find bonus episodes on manifesting happiness, which is me getting rid of my depression, basically, and how I manifested my husband. Those two bonus episodes are out there. Okay, so today, let me read what today's is. I have not read it yet, so here we go. Be light about everything. When you are light, easy, you have a lot less resistance about it. That's key. So yeah, my day of lots of crazy manifestations, just thoughts and then things and thoughts and things all day long. I've been really light and easy about things. Now, this is what meditation does to you. If you meditate daily, which I'm pretty religious about it at this point, like when I question whether I'm going to do it in the morning, I tell myself, it is really more important than almost anything else you could do today. And then I go and do it because I know that if I set my vibration in the morning with meditation and my 2021 list, it just sets me up for the day to have an amazing day. I have an amazing day. And the more you meditate, the better it gets. The lighter you get, the easier you get, the nicer you get. Like I am attracting insanely nice people. And I told a friend of mine, if she's listening, awesome. She's like a realtor and a loan signing agent, just like what I'm doing, right? And she's been listening to me for over a year, so that's cool. Now we're doing the same thing. I told her, because she's like getting her printer, she's getting set up for loan signing. She's out in Florida, and so she checked in with me today to see how my signing was, my first one. And I'm like, oh, it was awesome. I got another one right now, and I got another one tomorrow. And she's like, oh my God, she's so excited, right? And I'm telling her how amazing it is, and all these, because she's asking, are people asking lots of questions, and, all those normal, things you wonder about before you start doing something. And I'm like, oh gosh, no, I've just had like the most amazing people. Like every phone conversation is like, by the time we're off the phone, we're like old friends. And that is me. And this is what I told her. I said, these are my steps to success in this business. Number 1, meditate daily. Like, I'm not kidding. To be a really good loan signing agent, to be a really good realtor, to be a really good whatever you do as a business, meditate daily. Because you're just going to attract. You're going to attract like who you are. And who you are is this light, free, happy, awesome person. And if you have that energy, you're going to attract the same type of people. And you're going to have endless parties, like what Abraham says about Esther, like endless parties Like, what is this magic that is this? You know what I mean? I have never been happier in my life, and I've never had so many conversations that are amazing and fun and laughter. And all I do is crack jokes with people on the phone that I have no idea who they are. You know, it's like, it's so incredible. And me sitting here talking about it like this is just making it more and more and more and more and more. So that's why my business is called Aligned Signings. Everything's perfectly aligned. And the more I preach that, the more I get that, right? So it has just been, gosh, I was talking about yesterday, I was talking about how I had such a day of like insane amount of manifestations. Like I couldn't even name hardly any because I couldn't remember. But one in particular, I was like, oh, it'd be really cool. So I'm recording this Thursday night. And so Thursday afternoon, I was like, okay, so I had a signing. These are loan signings, closings for real estate transactions. Okay. So I had my first one on Wednesday. So here's Thursday, right? And I had all these things I needed to get done, and they're still not done. So Thursday, I'm like, okay, so I don't have a signing today. Cool, because I need stuff done. So I have one on Friday. No, I didn't have anything yet. So I'm like, okay, well, it would be really cool to get one for tomorrow and Saturday and Monday. It'd be cool to schedule those. And so that's when, this is what I said yesterday, I came from the kitchen because it was breakfast time, but I didn't really feel like eating breakfast just yet. And so I said that in the kitchen, and then I walked back to my office for no reason whatsoever. And then within a minute, the phone was ringing, and it was an appointment for tomorrow, for Friday. And so that was cool. Awesome. I was excited. It's a very easy one. Like down the street, it's local to me. And they asked me my fee. I didn't know it was a direct title company until after I realized. So you can make more direct, right? So they were happy with my fee, and then it was just such an amazing conversation. It was so amazing because it tied in a conversation I had with the signer the day before and the conversation I had with Roger the night before, like same exact conversation. And these are like random, like overnight FedEx from Phoenix goes to Memphis. And the signer on Wednesday told me that. And he said, the weather is really bad. I don't think they're going to get it by Friday. And I'm like, no, they'll get it. And it was only going to Scottsdale, which is literally like 80 miles from where I was. Had I realized this? So that night I was like talking to Roger. I'm like thinking about something. And then I'm like, God, at this point, it was like, it's so insane to go from Wickenburg to Phoenix to Memphis back to Phoenix to Scottsdale. Like, that is so stupid, but that's the way it is. I didn't know that. My first signing, right? Now I know. I totally would have drove it down to Scottsdale, totally above and beyond, to go in and meet the escrow officer and hand him the papers. I would have done that. If it's a lot of driving. But then, so I thought of that. But then I talked to the title company. She's in West Virginia today. And she's like, oh, the FedEx in Memphis, because that's what we use, is shut down. I'm like, no. And so, because I told Roger, I'm like, wouldn't it be easier? At this point, it would be easier just to use the postal service, right? And then that's what she said. That's actually what we're going to do. I'm sending it priority or overnight or something from the postal service tomorrow. Anyway, this is a lot of detail for you guys from my business. It's pretty, probably weird, but it's just so many synchronicities, so many things, and it just boggles my mind when it happens. It's like, oh my God, I just had this conversation with someone else. I was saying the exact same thing. And then it comes up in the next conversation from that person. And I'm like, it was such a freaky day. It was so freaky. Like, I was starting to get like tired from all the freakiness. Does that even make sense? Like, all the things that just kept popping up. I'm like, how is this real? Like, how is this real life? Really crazy. And I'm telling you, it's from meditating daily. It's from focusing on the things that you want to have happen as if they've already happened. It is about pre-paving your success. It's about focusing more on what you want and so much less on what is current reality. Keep focusing forward. So, anyhow, it has been a journey. So, be light about everything. You know, I I learned that from Wayne Dyer. The way that he lived his life, he was so chill and so like if somebody was late or um like being late and just keeping him waiting, he was so chill about it. Like, oh yeah, it's fine. Because the thing is, getting impatient, getting upset is resistance. Everything's about timing. There's always a reason for everything. So today, my signing today, the guy was a half hour late. Like we literally live 3 miles away from each other, and he was a half hour late. And it's because he had to run off to his job site to go put out a fire that he thought was happening. Not a real one, but you know what I mean. And then I called him twice, and he's like, "I'm on my way. I'm so sorry." He was so apologetic. And so I was in that time, I was like, this is me thinking about all the millions of things I needed to get done today. And here's a guy that is, taking up this time. So in the past, I probably would have gotten really upset, really pissed off, disrespect, blah, 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 right? So today, just a tinge. And here's the thing that I remind myself. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. This is why I don't get upset if I think of something like this morning or at some point today I did something. I can't remember now. But maybe I went somewhere. Oh, it was to that signing. I was dropping off Roger at the store on the way, and then I stopped in the driveway to go get my water. And I'm like, I do things like that all the time because I'm like, I have this impulse. I need to go get it. And I trust that. I trust that extra 3 minutes to go back in the house for a reason. I trust that. Like, I don't hurry. I don't stress because I know there's a reason for all of this. And we don't know what it is. And sometimes we find out. Like, it could be that I just got no traffic at that moment when I got on the road, all the traffic went away. Or it prevented an accident that was about to happen, or who knows what it is. I don't know. Or I'm going to run into somebody, but the timing wasn't perfect yet. So I trust all of this stuff now. So I had a couple tinges of getting upset with this guy, but he was so insanely nice that he was like, you couldn't be mad at the guy. I couldn't. He was so freaking apologetic, so appreciative. So he's from Texas, which I think is why he was like that. He was telling me that people in Wickenburg are weird. And I'm like, yeah, they are. And it was so interesting to hear from him. Anyway, so it turned out to be a perfectly fine signing. And he was just so appreciative of me being, he said I was so patient with him. And I'm like, it's no big deal. I'm just glad you made it. I'm glad we got this done. I was just, because, I showed him grace and I showed him compassion. I showed him all of that. And he needed that because, he seems like a really good guy. And he was appreciative and apologetic. He's like, I feel like I need to buy you dinner, all this stuff. And he was just so like that. Now, if I came across as bitchy and blah, 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 right, it would have been a little bit different probably, the energy, right? And so he showed up with his energy. I had mine. We got along fine, like really well. And he's a really busy guy. And so as soon as he turned around from me when we were done, he picked up his phone and immediately dialed somebody he got off the phone with to meet with me. And he was like, I am so sorry. I had to do something. So sorry. That guy is busy. Like, he's busy. So I'm like, he needed that grace of, it's okay. It's okay. We went outside and signed, and it was nice. It's beautiful weather. Goodness gracious. We are blessed with good weather in the winter. And all is well. It's all good. So be light about everything. When you are light and easy, you have a lot less resistance about anything. That's key. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go, and I will be back tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of your Saturday. Bye.